Howdy everybody, welcome to my channel. Thank you for joining me today. Today we're gonna do skincare and makeup, and we're gonna do this typical makeup look that I usually do if I want to go out or stay at home and just do my makeup. So stay tuned and thank you for joining me today. So one subscriber wanted a skincare routine, which I don't really have a main skincare routine, and to be honest, I will probably make another video about all the skincare products I have because I have a bunch of them, and I'm not playing when I mean a bunch. I'll probably insert a little clip of like all the skincare products that I have stored away. But other than that, let's get started. What I like to do is tone my face, and I like to go in with this Anua Heartleaf 77 Soothing Toner, and this is really good. Also, I never really show my bare face in public, so I'm kind of nervous, but whatever. Yeah, so I'm gonna put it all over this makeup pad, kind of make sure it's all coated up, and then I like to put it on my face. I like to pat. I have to be careful with my eyes because I don't want it to get in my eyes, because there has been a time where I did that and it was so it was uncomfortable because I could feel the product in my eyes and it was gross and it was stinging my eyes. But yeah, pretty much pat this throughout my whole skin. I'm so nervous, guys. I never show my face. But yeah, so I haven't really shown my face since high school or middle school, barefaced, just because I don't like the way I look, but we're learning confidence, I guess, today. Anyways, so y'all like my headband, guys? It's a Hello Kitty one.
Anyways. So we're gonna let that dry for a little bit. But how's everybody doing? I haven't done one of these videos in a while. I don't even know where to start. Long time no see. We're gonna get this ball rolling, all right? So my face is kind of dry. I guess we'll go on to the next step. Okay, so I have a Good Molecules Discoloration Correcting Serum. This is what I'm trying to use. If you're wondering why my skin is so dry, it's because I wash my hands a lot, because I'm a bit of a germaphobe when it comes to certain things, and I wash my hands so much that my arms are getting super dry. But that's besides the point. This product is
for discoloration, which I have a lot under my
upper lip, and then I have a lot of pimple scarring, which I want to get rid of, and I just bought this recently from Target. I want to say it was 12 bucks, and I'm hoping that this works for me because I would like my skin to be clear, but here we are. And then it looks like this little bottle. And it comes in a tube like this, and then I just put it over my face. And I melt that into my skin.
I haven't really gotten a chance to film one of these just because I usually come out of work and the lighting is super dark, and I feel like it wouldn't be as aesthetically pleasing to see.
Alright guys, then I go in with the Maida
lotion. It's the rice milk lotion, and it's the Rice to Meet You. As you can tell, I used most of it, so we're gonna hit it. And then I usually put some on my hand like this, and I go on top of my forehead first. Pretty much go throughout my face with the lotion, how one does. And then I like to take it down to my neck because I got a lot of wrinkles down there from looking at my phone. I'm gonna go in with the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. This stuff I know is really sticky, so it has helped my makeup stay on longer, especially for concerts. That's the reason I've been looking for stickier primers, because I go to concerts and my makeup does not hold, and I get interactions, and then I come back to the hotel and I look at my face and I'm like, so the idols looked at me like that? Really? Like, it's very disappointing. And also, before anybody cancels me, I got this before people were canceling e.l.f. and I don't have the funds right now to get new makeup, so I'm working with what I got and I'm not about to waste product. Pretty much, the instructions say that you're supposed to put it on your skin and I think melt it. Let me see. Let me read it because I'm like full of shit right now. But pretty much I'm patting it in my skin and I'm gonna let it dry for a little bit. So it says, use fingertips to apply and pat into skin. Allow to set for 30 seconds to absorb and activate grip prior to makeup. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm gonna repeat that. Allow to set for 30 seconds to absorb and activate grip prior to makeup application. Okay, I was moving a lot, so I couldn't read it. Anyways, I'm pretty much putting it all over my face, just like the lotion, just like the serum. And I'm gonna let that sit for a little bit. While I do that, while I let it sit, I do focus on my eyebrows because that's something I can do. Okay, I have this Wet n Wild Mega Clear Brow and Lash Mascara. I like to fluff the eyebrows out. And pretty much that's it. I don't really put product in my eyebrows. I do need to pluck my eyebrows, but as you can tell, they're uneven and I don't know how to do them. So there's that. Okay, and then I'm gonna go in with the Tarte concealer, the Shape Tape. And I have like a little brush like this. I don't know if y'all could kind of see it. And I go in on that brush and I went off camera and I lined up my eyebrows and now I'm kind of melting it in the skin, the concealer in. Not the best at doing it, but whatever. This is how I do my makeup, so just showing y'all pretty much the realistic expectations of how I do my makeup. You know, they're not sisters. Oh wait, no, they're not twins, but they are related, so you know. It's pretty much it. I mean, this one looks darker, so I think that's just my natural hair, so whatever. So after that, I pretty much, with the leftover concealer, and I get a little bit on my fingers, I tap in to cover up my eyelids to give a little coverage. Not too much because I don't really mind it. This is more for my eyeliner. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, that's embarrassing. Okay, anyways. So pretty much I go in, cover my lid with that, and we're gonna get started on my eyeshadow. Okay, so after priming my lids with some concealer, a little bit of concealer, I go in with the Wet n Wild contour palette. Today we're going for a simple look. This would be a look that I would probably wear every day if I feel like doing my makeup. So I'm tapping off the excess, if you're wondering what I'm doing, and then I'm just gonna go on throughout the lid. Pretty much easy peasy, lemon squeezy, nothing too serious today. Just have a bronzy kind of eyelid. Not trying to do too much today, just because I'm not gonna go out. It's a Monday, guys, and it's Labor Day. I got nothing to do today, and I'm just chilling, so pretty much gonna do this for fun. But pretty much this is my eye look that I would probably do on an everyday outing, I guess, everyday going out. Okay, now that I covered the lid in the eyeshadow, I pretty much blended it out, and now I'm gonna go in with the Revlon Color Stay Sharp line, and I'm just gonna do a simple cat eye. Honestly, I suck at doing eyeliner, but it's okay. And then I'm gonna do this wing over here. Also, if you hear any movement in the background, that is Scooby itching himself per usual. that's pretty much it. Just simple eye, and that's it. And so my face is pretty much, I don't know what that was. Okay, my face is pretty much dry. I'm gonna go in with a concealer, the same Shape Tape one. This one's the Shape Tape Creamy Concealer. I'm gonna go with this one under my eyes. I just put a dot right there, and a dot right there, and a dot right here. And then I kind of carve out my nose a little bit. And then do a little dot right there. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. And then I did get a new one because my other one was a little dry. And this is just the regular Shape Tape concealer. The other one was the creamy one, but I like to use the regular one on my upper lip because I feel like that one's more drying and I need that one to dry longer. So I use the creamy one for under my eyes because I don't like it super drying for the fine lines, and then I like to use the regular one, the drying one, on my upper lip because I do sweat a lot. And this is how it looks. And then I pretty much wait a couple of minutes before I start blending it, but I could go ahead and blend the ones that I don't really care for. You know, I just realized that I did skip my foundation, which I do before my concealer, so that's a little tricky on how I'm gonna do it. So you know what, we're gonna make it work. We're gonna make it work. Okay, I'm gonna get my foundation. Ooh. I use the Fenty Beauty one in soft for the soft lit 290, and I want to say neutral, but I bought this a while ago that I really can't tell you the answer to that. It is summertime, so my skin does get darker, but I don't have time to go get another foundation and color match. And I'm gonna be honest, this is probably super light for me, but whatever. I don't feel like getting a new one, but I pretty much get this, I guess like a dime size or a little bigger amount. And then I go in with the e.l.f. Putty Bronzer in the shade, I want to say Tan Lines. And I get that. Since my foundation is a little dark, I go ahead and grab some of the bronzer, creamy bronzer, and I like to mix it in with my foundation to get a sort of darker shade. And we're just gonna let our concealer sit because at that point we're gonna need to. And mix, mix, mix. And then go ahead and paint my face, you know? And I'll put it under my chin. Oh, child. My headband doesn't want to stay anymore. It's falling back. Okay. I put it all over my face. And then with the finger that, oh, well, it already has it. The finger that didn't have the foundation, I like to go ahead and apply that on my face. It looks super light today. I didn't put enough bronzer, if I'm being totally honest. But you know what? I could just bronze up my face later on and just call it a day. It's not like I'm really going out anywhere. But I get top of my head. Look at that. The shade. The shade. The tea. The shade. Yeah, but you know, if anybody works in makeup and knows how to color correct, I'm gonna take that off because it's just falling at this point. But if anybody knows how to shade match, hit me up. If y'all know how to shade match and can shade match through the phone, help me out. Because your girl don't know what she's doing. Honestly, I'm doing a terrible job because I'm not used to multitasking, looking at the phone, and then also doing my makeup through the mirror. Well, we're gonna work with what we got, girls, guys, whoever's attending today's showing. Usually I would put the foundation on, as I said before, and then I would actually go in with the concealer, but I was a little nervous today and I overstepped what I usually do. But I don't think it really makes a difference because I was gonna have to wait for my concealer anyway, so. Okay, before y'all come for my shade match, the light makes everything look lighter, so I do look really pale. But also keep in mind that my skin is light from right here, so it kind of is sort of a match, sort of not. But pretty much, I'm gonna go in and melt in the concealer on the areas that I did put it. Pretty much, I want to hide this darkness, that's why I put the concealer there. I am really insecure about that because it makes me look like I have a mustache, and it's really embarrassing as a woman. But you know, Latina genetics, you know how it be. And I go ahead and conceal the nose, and it's really important that this is sort of dry because all of the skincare products sort of create a moisturizing barrier that cause the makeup to crease sometimes if I don't dry it right. And it's really important, especially if you want the concealer to actually stay longer. At least that's what I feel on my skin. Also, I changed to the clips. How y'all like them? Cinema roll, cute. And then I go under my eyes, and after this part, and yes, I do use my fingers. My hands are really clean. As I said before, I am sort of a germaphobe when it comes to certain aspects of things. And so I wash my hands like twice, which is bad and it's messing up my skin. But if you're wondering why I'm doing that, I'm doing that. And I don't like beauty blenders. I used to like them back when I first started makeup, but I stopped liking them because I got grossed out over the fact that sponges develop mold and stuff, and I don't want to do that with brushes too. Create like, you know, wet products on dry products and then never clean them. It's a whole situation. In my head, there's a bunch of germs and it grosses me out. So I'm gonna go in with a powder, and honestly, I use an expensive powder, but it helps me. This is the Laura Mercier translucent powder, and this one is the only powder I like to use. I've tried using different powders and they just don't work for me. I don't know, they just don't work. And then I go in with this one, the pressed powder in the Wet n Wild Mega Glow contour palette. So what I like to do is get a powder puff, and I know what I was saying about earlier about the sponges and stuff, but I don't know, my brain doesn't count these sponges as like a beauty blender bacteria thing. I don't know, I'm gonna overthink about it and then I'm gonna end up not using it, so I'm just gonna stop myself. Put some on my hand and I sort of pat it out, and then I go under my eyes and grab some more, pat it under my eyes. Sorry for my little germaphobe rant. You know, mental illness, what are you gonna do about her, you know? And then I go over throughout my whole face. And I know there's still like darkness under here. I usually take care of that last because there's so much in my routine that I have to get to, and that's the most important part for me. So I like to make sure that that's actually set. And I did take it under my neck, so I don't know if y'all could see. So it kind of matches, kind of. And then after that, I take the, I'm not sure if this is a pressed powder or just a powder itself, but I like to use the powder. I like to dab. And then as you can see, it's like that. And then I press it on my skin so I don't have so much powder. And then I go like this. I'm not one to bake because I have really dry skin and I feel like it sort of dries my face out. And I'm not a makeup artist, so yeah, pretty much go like that. I am rambling. I'm sorry if I have like no script today. This is an out of whim, let's film today type of video, and we're doing it, girls, guys, whoever. we're gonna close that up. We're gonna go into our bronzer. And yes, I use my hands for everything. So if you get grossed out, you can click out. I get it. It's kind of weird, but it works for me. And then I like to go on the bridge of my nose. I'm not like a professional at contouring or anything. Like right now, I just like went over where I was supposed to go, but it's okay. No harm in anything, you know. I go in with the bronzer above my, I guess, on my cheekbones. And pretty much go throughout my cheek. And then since my forehead looks super duper pale, I like to go up there. I like this one. Oh, I got some in my hair. I like this one because on the top of my forehead, it does kind of get this color. Okay, after the bronzer, I go in with two e.l.f. blushes. I'm not sure what the shade is. Let's take a look. I have Dusty Rose and then I have Suave Mauve. And so I like to go ahead and put a dot on each. I know it is a lot. So it's a lot of products. I like to go on my hand and put one single dot because it is a lot. And I don't want to overdo it. I like to do two just to give my face some dimension. I put the lightest shade of pink kind of in the center. A little off center, but I like to go ahead and mix some in the center, really light in the center to give me that sun-kissed type of look. And I go ahead and mix that, and then at the tops I like to go in with the darkest shade and go back in with a lighter shade underneath it and mix that up. Now I don't have a powder blush, so I can't really set it, but that's okay because sometimes I go in with the translucent powder when I'm done with everything and make sure that that is set. Pretty much that is it, and I blend it out. You know, I forgot to put powder bronzer, but realistically I don't always put powder bronzer, so I'm okay. And it gives me my pink look. As you can tell, I love pink. And then after that, I go in with a little Vaseline for my lips. And this is already run out. I have run out of it. And then with my pinky that I haven't used any product on for anything, go ahead and put that on my lips. So my lips are nice and ready for application. And let's see, what color should I use? I guess I'll do the color I use for work every day. And yeah, it's sort of a mauve type of liner. I don't really use lipsticks just because I'm not really good with choosing the right shade, but I got this one. Oh my gosh, it looks so like dusty. This is a Wet n Wild. No, it's not. Sorry, let me finish this. It's an LA Girl Ultimate Lip Intense Stay Auto Liner. Alright guys, after the liner, I went in with some more concealer on my upper lip, and I put like 2 little dots, and I kind of let it dry up a little bit. And if it needs more, I'll put more, but pretty much I'm trying to hide the darkness, which sometimes it doesn't do it, but it's okay. And so I added just the same liner until it got darker, and now I'm gonna go in with that same Wet n Wild, this one, and I'm going to put it on some of the blush so that way it kind of stays. And then I'm gonna get a highlighter. This is the She Makeup Highlighter Stick. This was at a beauty event, beauty sale that was like at a hotel. I forgot what it's called, but I'll probably give you information on the screen in a bit. And I put that on my nose. I only put highlighter on my nose just because I like it like that. And then I go in with the Morphe Continuous Setting Spray, and I go ahead and spray my face. And let that dry, and that's pretty much it, girls, guys, whoever. And that's my usual face makeup if I'm going to go out and I want to look a little dolled up, you know. I mean, I could always change the eyeshadow whenever I want, but this is typically a look I go for. And that's pretty much it, guys. I am so grateful for everybody that stayed throughout the video. Make sure you leave a like or subscribe if you want to. And thank you for joining me today. Bye, guys.